Today, we'll go ahead and discuss Marketing Cloud's multi-factor authentication. This is an increased security feature that became available in about November of 2021. However, you can skip this for now, although come February 1 of 2022, you must enable this multi-factor authentication to be able to log into your Marketing Cloud account. Multi-factor authentication is not unique to Marketing Cloud. This is really just a security feature that many applications are moving towards. Instead of you only having a single factor of authentication, so just a password to get into Marketing Cloud, this multi-factor authentication or multiple means of authenticating who you are will really ensure the person who logging into the account is the individual who should be. And not to overcomplicate things, I do think most of us are already very familiar with multi-factor authentication. So if you log into CU's VPN or you access your portal, those already have multi-factor authentication enabled. So actually authenticating within Marketing Cloud is pretty simple. And I'll walk you through generally how you would go about this, but there are detailed instructions throughout this wiki. So first of all, when you're logging into Marketing Cloud, this is the multi-factor authentication pop-up that you might have already started to see about November. So the big blue button there is encouraging you to go ahead and get started and start this multi-factor authentication process, which we've already seen about 30% of our user base has gone ahead and done, which is great. But as I mentioned before, if you want to skip this step until February 1st of 2022, there is a little text underneath that Get Started button for you to bypass it for now. But assuming you want to proceed with authenticating, and after you hit that Get Started button, it is going to send an email to your inbox. And for me, this did actually show up in my junk or my spam folder, so be sure to check it there. But once that arrives in your inbox, copy and paste that verification code and select Verify, that blue button there. Now, part 3 is where you will start to actually register a verification method. And there are 3 different options that we have outlined here. One of them is available on your desktop, while the other 2 are available on a mobile device. So one thing to think about is where you're going to want this verification code to appear every time you're logging into Marketing Cloud. So if you always have your phone on you, maybe those mobile options are great for you. But if you find yourself not having your phone on you while you're logging into Marketing Cloud all the time, perhaps a desktop option would be preferred. I'll mention I know many individuals without university phones who do not want to download apps for work purposes on their personal device, in which case that desktop option is great. So depending on which method you wish to proceed with, you will select a different option for registering a verification method, which we've outlined here. And then you will need to, in this desktop option, download an extension. So we have provided this Authenticator app that should walk you through either adding this to your Chrome or Firefox browser. And then once it's downloaded as an extension, how you would go ahead about using it. So I won't walk through all of those details. Screenshots are there along with instructions, and it does seem to be pretty intuitive with those extensions walking you through each step. Looking at the first mobile option, it is the Salesforce Authenticator. So as many of us are familiar with, either on Android or Apple device, going to your app store and looking up Salesforce Authenticator, getting that app, and again, following those step-by-step instructions that will be presented to you. The third option, also on a mobile device, but what we've called more generic apps. I know some of us use other authenticator apps for other things, either at the university or personally. And so you can just search within that same app store on your phone for an Authenticator app. And there are numerous products out there. We'll see the Microsoft Authenticator here. I personally use the Duo one, but we've got a couple different options available there. But once you've determined which one you want to use, again, walking through how to get that integrated with your Marketing Cloud account is pretty straightforward. As I said, if you run into any issues going through this authentication process, please reach out to your e-com specialist and we will go ahead and troubleshoot. But in the meantime, if you do have to skip this multi-factor authentication process, that is just fine. We'll want that resolved before February 1, 2022. I also want to point out and articulated in this wiki around troubleshooting. We do have the option, let's say one day you forgot your phone at home, you need to get into Marketing Cloud. There is the ability for your e-com specialist to generate a temporary code that will work for 24 hours so that you don't have to run home and get your phone. So that's a nice option if you are in a bind. The other thing that I will mention is that if your device is ever lost or stolen, please let your e-com specialist know. We will want to revoke that authentication method just to be as secure as possible.